Welcome to day 11 of the 12 DIYs of Christmas. Today we are going to be working on a mistletoe cutout card with jelly roll markers. My name is Amanda Arneill and I teach art and hand lettering tutorials here on YouTube and also full-length in-depth courses at amandaarneill.com. For this tutorial, you are going to need a piece of black cardstock. I got this as part of a pack from Michaels of assorted cardstocks. And then you are also going to need a scissor or an X-Acto knife, a ruler. I'm going to be using a paper cutter, but that is not necessary, and 5 jelly roll markers. The colors I'll be using are a bright neon green, a teal, neon pink, a darker pink, and white. And all of these are the Jelly Roll 1.0 size pens. The reason that I like this size of pen is because it's easy to flood color in an area. And I'll tell you more about that when we get into drawing. The first thing you need to do is take your piece of paper and cut it in half so that you can make 2 cards. If you have an 11-inch piece of paper, you're going to cut it at 5.5 inches. And then with the remaining paper, you want to fold it in half to create your card. If you have a paper cutter or the ability to score your page first, you'll want to do that at 4.25 inches. That will give you 2 pieces of cardstock folded into 2 cards. For now, we're only going to use one of them, so put one to the side and take your first card. Grab your neon green jelly roll pen, and we're going to start off by drawing some smooth curved lines out with curved leaves happening at the end. Mistletoe is a very curved shaped plant. It doesn't sit straight, and you want to add on a few leaves to each branch. Let's try putting on 5 or 6 branches of mistletoe. The one that you put down the middle should be mostly straight, and then start curving out from the other side. Now, one other thing you might notice is that I'm leaving a little bit of space in between my different branches of mistletoe, and that's something that you're going to want to do. Your mistletoe should fill a significant portion of your card. We are going to be cutting off this outer edge, so don't worry if it's not perfectly straight. It's all going to balance out. You actually do want it a little bit more to the left than to the right of your card. Now, this is not super gorgeous, but we're going to fill it in. Taking that same green marker, flood. So color in with lots of extra ink. You want to just color it in gently so that you're not pressing on the paper, but fill that whole space with that color. And then take your teal and you want to flood the other end of the leaf end attached to the actual stem itself, and follow even partway up that stem with that same color. And because you flooded it, you filled it with color, you can actually go back in and sort of use it like paint where you mix those 2 colors together. We'll do the same to every single one of our leaves, coloring the tip of the leaf with the lighter color so that it's flooded, not pushing hard on the paper, and then coloring in the upper part of the leaf by the stem with that same sort of flood technique. Very gently adding that color and allowing the 2 colors to mix together. Go through and do that to all of your leaves. The really gorgeous thing about these jelly roll markers is how they pop off of the page. So you start to get this nice effect even on something like black paper. Now you're going to move on to your 2 pinks, and we're going to draw a ribbon or a bow holding these together. So up at the top, do a curved rectangle and then color that in. Remember not to push on your paper. Just very lightly let the ink flow out of the pen. And towards the edges, use your darker pink to give some dimension to this. And again, just flooding, not pushing on that page, letting the ink flow naturally out of the pen. You can always go back with your lighter color and add a little bit more and mix the 2 colors together so that there's blending towards the edges. Now after that, we're going to add bows to the side, and we have done quite a few bows throughout this whole 12 DIYs series. So let's do our soft side bow where it has that slight loop and comes in on the bottom, and that can really nicely fill in this space above. Mimic that shape on the other side, gentle curve, and then bring it back up around the bottom. And we have nicely filled in above those leaves. Now you're going to want to draw a little line underneath. That's where the bow is going to flip over. And I'm starting to get a little bit, this ink isn't all dry. So if you can just take a break for a sec, let your ink dry, that'll be good. Otherwise, try not to put your hand in it like I'm doing. You can always, though, go back and touch up those areas once they've dried where you lifted off some of that ink. Now that we have this base to our ribbon, go in and start to color it in. Now you want to think about adding some dimension. So this part where the bow is joining the knot, that part is going to have some dark color added to it, as well as the outer portion here. So we want to flood very lightly again on your pen, flood the middle of the ribbon with color, all the way from the top to this hook line that you've created. Do small gentle motions to build up your color coverage, and then go in with your darker color and color in towards the center of the ribbon. You want to leave a little black line in between the two, just so that there is difference. It's like drawing in a line edge, but here we're just using the negative space. So leave that little black gap in between the two, and then color in the inside and the outside portions of your ribbon. Now, as you start to curl around the bottom here, you want to keep this curved line that you've drawn separate from what's going on underneath here, because we're going to use our two colors to add dimension there. So go in and just redraw that with the brighter color. You can work your way into the middle portion here where you did the darker color, and just use tiny lines so that you don't have a definite area where it's darker color to lighter color. It all just sort of blends together, and that will make it much more natural. Now down here, in this little loop portion, you're going to color that solidly with your darker color. And then below that, your leftover gap, you're going to color solidly with the lighter color. Bringing that lighter color up and around, blended into that darker edge. And you start to see some dimension happening because of our use of the two different colors. So we'll do the same thing on the other side here. If you're worried that you might accidentally stick your hand over into this portion, you can always turn your card so that your hand is in a safe space down here and won't spread any of your newly colored ink. First, with your lighter color, color in that center portion of the bow, and then we'll go in with the darker pink and color in the middle edge and the outer edge. Color in the loop of the bow with your darker color, retrace that line, and then color in below the loop with your brighter color, blending it into the side. Next, we're going to add the mistletoe berries. With your white jelly roll, one of the really nice things about these jelly roll pens is that you can layer your colors. So add some circles of white all throughout your piece, and you can just draw this right on top of your plant. You don't have to worry that the colors will blend or bleed as long as they're dry. You also don't need to worry about making sure that your berries look like they're attached to anything. Just fill in some of your spaces with different size circles. Once that's done, we are going to add the tails to the ribbon, and they're going to be long and come down into this bottom part of the page. It can be a little bit tricky to do them in behind here, so with your pen, start off up towards the middle of that curved rectangle up at the top. Trace down, but don't put your pen on the page. And then once you're past your leaves, you can draw in your line for your ribbon. It should follow a slight curve. Towards the end, we want it to have little scissor snips. So draw a triangle to the end there, and then we're going to start to color it in. At the bottom, flood it completely with your brighter color. Again, I'm going to tell you, remember not to push hard on the page. There are two reasons for that. The first is if you push really hard, sometimes the pen can get quite scratchy and you'll end up with lots of lines rather than a flood. And the second reason is then you're disturbing the paper fibers underneath, so it's a lot more likely that your paper will start to separate and you won't have a nice smooth surface to work on. Color up towards your leaves, but don't go all the way into the leaf area. Take your darker pink, and again, leaving a little bit of space between your pink and your leaves, color that portion in with your darker pink. This gives you a bit of a shadow to show that this ribbon is in behind. And you're going to continue that all the way up into your ribbon, giving yourself a little bit of space from the pink in behind, the dark pink, to the elements of your mistletoe, either the green foliage or the white berries. Still make sure that you're always following your line. Don't just color in everything behind the berries and the foliage. You still want it to look like it's a ribbon coming down. That's part of why we do that tracing up on the top so that you can still follow your line. We have one side done, let's do the other side now. Go back to your bright pink. And again, if you're worried about getting your hand in this, you can always flip your page, but I suggest doing that after you draw in your initial line. So make sure that your hand is outside of your colored area. You're going to ghost trace your curve down, and then once you're past your foliage, I gave myself just some slight marks there so that I know about where this is coming. Draw your gentle curve in, and we're going to do the same for this outer side. It would go right about here. You can even give yourself that tiny little reminder mark for your darker color, and then draw your ribbon in. Now I noticed that this one is quite a bit thicker, and if that happens to you, you can always go in and make your other one a little bit thicker as well, just by fattening up one of those ribbon sides. I mean, it's Christmas after all. We're all used to gaining a little bit of weight, even this ribbon. Give yourself a triangle at the bottom for your little scissor snip, and then let's start to flood in the color. Lighter towards the bottom, and then darker up top and behind the foliage. Now that that part of our card is done, we're going to get into something that makes this a little extra special. And that is that we're going to cut off the side of the card. Because we need some space to write a message, we're going to use the space here, but not on this portion of the card, but on the inner portion of the card. So you want to take a ruler. Once your design is fully dry, of course, we're going to be cutting into our design, but not all the way right into the middle. That would be way too much fussy cutting. We don't have time for that. Your card is about 4¼ inches wide. We're going to cut it down to about 3 on that front portion. Or if you're like me and 3 isn't cutting off any of your ribbon on the bottom, get it a little bit further over. You want to draw a line very, very lightly with a pencil down your card around 3 inches in. And you're going to draw that line at the top, in the middle, or the bottom, wherever you have a large black space. Do not draw over top of your design. Don't do that anywhere. So now you'll see pencil line, pencil line, pencil line. Here it's even a little bit close to that leaf, and we're not going to be following the line there. Instead, what you want to do is take your scissors, cut up on your pencil line, but then cut around your design so that you're creating a black border, essentially, with your paper all the way around the design. This might take a little bit of fussy cutting, but it will give a really nice strong design element to have that outline to it. So cut up your line until you come to a place where you might need to go around a design element. Cut up that card, and then here again, we'll need to cut around. If any of your line remains, you're just going to want to go in with an eraser and very, very lightly remove it. And you could definitely stop here if you thought that that was enough for you for your card, or we're going to also include a little Merry Christmas message down the side here. Now, one thing that can be tricky is getting that Merry Christmas perfectly centered, but we have another card to practice on. You can either do script Merry Christmas down the side, or you could do a stacked serif. But practicing on a piece of paper that's the same size will allow you to best center it on your actual card. For instance, you can see here that the script doesn't fill the whole space. So you can choose either then to extend your script or use this as a guideline for centering. Just make sure this other one's dry. It wasn't. I don't want it to get on the back of the card. So you can take your card, center the Merry Christmas here, and you'll know exactly where to start your M and where you should be ending your S for it to be centered in your card. I'm going to do the serif, and again, it's the same issue. Here, there's more space at the top than there is at the bottom. So line up your card beside your letters to give yourself a guideline to ensure that you're able to center your lettering. So I took a little bit more off the top, added a little bit onto the bottom, and now I will just transfer those letters over to the actual card. And there we go. We have our striking mistletoe card with a cutout and Merry Christmas to the side and still some space to write inside. Just make sure when you're writing inside that you keep your writing to the fold side so that it doesn't accidentally peek out here. These jelly rolls are really fun because of the bright, vibrant color that they give you even on black, and they can be nicely mixed together to give that blended effect between two colors. With only 5 pens, a pair of scissors, and some black paper, you can make some very, very striking Christmas cards yourself. If you missed a single one of the 12 DIYs of Christmas, there is an entire playlist for you to go through and binge. There will definitely be the perfect creative tutorial in there for you. And if you haven't done it yet, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss a single tutorial as they are posted. There are lots of fun things coming up in the year to come, and really it can't get worse than it was this year. So stick with me, subscribe right now, and don't miss a single thing. I hope that you have the most wonderful Christmas, and I will see you on day 12.